This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. Please like, subscribe, and share.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. We had a week off. We are refreshed. We are back, and we got stuff to talk about, so hang out with us. First, let's start it off. Happy belated birthday to you, sis.
Thank you.
Turned a whole 30-something. Okay, yeah. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
So we're going to start y'all off tonight with, we're going to talk about the need to travel. So when I was younger, in my like 20s and 30s, I really didn't think that traveling like outside the country and stuff was like within my grasp. It wasn't that I didn't have the money. It was just like, it's outside my grasp. I really figured that was for, I don't know, a certain group of people that I just wasn't part of.
Mm-hmm.
So I would always take like staycations, take vacation off work, but you pretty much just staying at home. You're not doing nothing. But over the last like few years, I've got that bug. And, I try to hit the ground running, and I'm out the country every time I could possibly get. But there's a certain need that people don't really explore, like that need to really disconnect from your everyday, get away, and just do something different. Whether it's leave the country or leave the state, but just to get away. Now I know you've been traveling, I've been traveling. Do you understand, or do you feel like there's a need now for you to at least once a year get away and do something, twice a year?
I definitely used to travel a lot more in my 20s. I feel like the past couple of years I really been kind of like locked in, so I haven't really traveled. Which is like I finally just traveled out the country for the first time. Which it was like, I'm not like, I don't know. I feel like I was anxious for it, but at the same time, like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say like I didn't like it, but I don't know. It's just, but that's besides the point. I always understood the need to detach from your reality. And I feel like sometimes you need that just to get clarity within your life, just to reflect. And also I feel like when you detach and take a vacation and get away from your reality, I feel like it makes you want to come back just to get that feeling again. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me come back, grind harder so I can get this feeling again or experience something new, and I feel like you realize, like, when you do travel, I feel like it shows you, like, that's what life is really supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about experiencing new things, having fun, not always routine and taking life seriously, So I feel like I always understood it. I think that like the past 4 years, I've really been locked in, and I think some people just always stay locked in, So I can say I had a reason why I wasn't traveling for the past 4 years. But at the same time, it's no reason why I'm just now going out the country, because it's like I don't have no kids. I should have been to that. So I do feel like we make excuses, we stay locked in. But the thing is, it's like, and some people look at it like, well, let me do all of this stuff, and then when I get older. But it's like, who's to say you're going to make it to get older,
Exactly.
So how do you feel about it?
So when you told me that you hadn't left the country before, I was like shocked. I just felt like, I don't know. I just felt like you would be somebody who had been to different places, been all through the Caribbean. You was making your way into Europe and stuff. I don't know. I just felt like you traveled out the country. When I didn't travel outside the country, I didn't know what I was missing. But once I did it that first time, like as soon as I get back from a trip, I'm already stacking the paper for the next trip.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we watched our parents and they're like, oh, I'll do things when I get older. But who's to say you're gonna get older? You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
gotta enjoy your money now.
Right.
Um, it took me until I'm 52 now. First time I went out the country was what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Mhm.
So late 40s, first time I'm getting outside the country.
Yeah.
And now I got the bug. So, now it's like whether it's a cruise, whether I'm flying in somewhere, I have to at least get one trip out the country a year. Um, I'm planning a cruise for next year already. And I don't think that's going to be my only trip. I
Yeah.
want to do two trips because I want to fly in somewhere um, with just probably just me and the missus just chilling and relaxing.
Yeah.
I think that everybody really needs to, because like you said, when you get back, your main focus is let me grind hard so I can do it again.
Yeah, like I need this again. I need it.
Yeah, saying now I have a reason for working now, as
Mhm.
opposed to you work to pay bills to go to a club. Come on, that club was there yesterday. Don't say it like you already
Yeah.
did that in life. Don't say it now. It's like I work so I can stack that bank account so I can get the hell up out this country, or even if it's just go down to Miami or Vegas or
Yeah.
LA, just getting away from your everyday, meeting
Yeah.
different people, like seeing people's lives on a different level. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like the biggest thing for me is is when you get to talk to people from different walks of life and you like, oh wow. Um like I talked to this, I think when we was in Mexico, I talked to this dude from from these two dudes from England. And it's like, oh yeah, we fly into Mexico at least twice a year. And I'm like, fuck, they do that from England too? Like, but
Yeah.
which blew my mind because I'm thinking, okay, we do it because shit is a part of the damn North America. Like we right here.
Right.
To hear somebody from across the ocean, like, yeah, we flying all the time. And I'm like, shit, I'm trying to get to where y'all are. I'm
Yeah.
trying to go visit y'all life. Um, but I think that everybody just really needs to um really find ways to enjoy your money while you're making it.
Enjoy the fruits of
Um,
your labor.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that one of the biggest things that I'm an advocate for this is, you know, be careful of what you do when you're young, that it doesn't stop you from enjoying life as you're going through it.
Yeah.
Um, like for me, child support held me in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I had no way of avoiding it. Lord, when got laid off and child support stacked up, and it was like, oh, no, can't get a passport. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm not leaving the country to run. I'm just
Right.
going to enjoy myself and come back. They was like, yeah, no, can't do it. Um, so be careful what you do when you're younger. Make sure that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor as you're laboring,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think like people should find a balance because I think for me, I feel like I spent a lot of years investing into my business, and I feel
Hmm.
like I spent years like tackling my debt and getting my credit right, and also like trying to chase after another goal. um but it's like in the midst of, like you said, trying to like chase your goals and trying to accomplish things, you can still enjoy life. And I feel like just like with anything else in your life, you have to have a balance. You can't just always work, because I feel like even when I came back to work, I'm like, no, I need to leave again tomorrow. Like, I'm low key like, I don't even want to live in Maryland no more. I'm over this. And it wasn't like, oh, I don't want to live in this country. It wasn't that, but it was just like I realized like I want more than this. Like, and that's not to say I'm not grateful or nothing like that. But honestly, for me, like when I went out the country, I feel like part of the reason I was telling people this, part of the reason why I didn't enjoy it, right? I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy it. I did, right? But part of this took from me going there. I feel like I am too much of an empath. And I think what bothered me the most is to see how like people in Mexico live. That's what bothered me. And
Yeah.
just to see, you know, and I think because I'm just a very deep person. So I was like, at first I'm like, I'm having fun. But then like I'm noticing things too though. Like, you know, I'm noticing the people that's working there, like the one girl that was at the little coffee shop. She was there from 6 o'clock in the morning to almost midnight. You know, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, how fucking long have you been here? And she tried to lie about it. Like, you know, she tried to lie, and I'm just like, and then I actually went off the resort, you know, on my birthday, and just the, you know, it was like I seen stuff coming to the resort, you know, but I think like actually going out in the markets and stuff and talking to people, I was just like, I don't like this. I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Like we're enjoying where people are like suffering, you know. And I know it sounds crazy because
Wow.
people like, oh, this vacation, but honestly, I think that part took it away from me because I'm like, part of me like, I don't want to support this, but at the same time, it's like you are supporting keeping them keeping money in
Employed.
their pocket, even though I feel like they're not paid enough and things like that, and they're overworked and stuff. Not to say we not overworked here in America, you know, but I feel like I'm just too much of an empath, and I'm like I really care about people, you know, and I feel
Yeah.
like it almost made me like, dang, this is not right. Like, it didn't make me feel good. Like when I say every single person, the entire time I'm tipping them, I'm tipping every. My sister like, look, this is all inclusive. Like you don't need to tip every. I'm like, no. I ran out of one. I brought so many ones. You thought I was going to a strip club, first of all, but like I ran out of ones. And I'm like, Brittany, you got any more cash on you? I'm like, I'll cash app you. I'm like, make sure you tip them, you know. And it was because it really bothered me, you know. And I see how like, you know, they like resources and stuff. So I think that's why that bothered me. I don't know why. And to be honest, it's like that was the first time I ever went out of the country. So I'm pretty sure it's so many other places that's like that. But I think like I'm just too deep for things like that. And part of me like,
Yeah.
dang, like I would rather almost stay in the country and just go to the Caribbean or something, or go like to Miami or to Hawaii or something. Not to say people not struggling in those areas, but you know, I don't know. They're not in those conditions, you know.
Yeah.
But saying all that to say, I definitely was like, but I feel like that took part of it, and I was like, I want to go on another vacation, like immediately. Like I feel like
Yeah.
even by myself, like because I'm like, ain't no way my sister or nobody gonna go with me. So I'm like, I want to go somewhere else. Like I want to go somewhere where I don't feel bad for people, and I'm not like sucking up other people's like you know problems and stuff. So but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's so important though to escape your reality. Like I feel like it's so important. And if you don't, it's like you're gonna be burnt out, you're gonna be crashing out because you're
Mm-hmm.
just so overwhelmed with your reality. Um she said the kids was begging on the side of the road during our excursion. See, like that would hurt me. Y'all, part of me don't want to go to another country because I'm gonna be one of the people that's trying to volunteer instead of like being rude. Like, and I promise you, because I'm like, I was so mind blown. I was like sad. I was just sitting there, and my sister like, "What's wrong, Bridget?" And I'm like, this is not right. This is not right how they treating these people. Like, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I do know one thing though. I do want to experience more life. I really do.
So like when we went to DR, like I'm telling you, DR was everything that Mexico was, but worse. It was
Really?
like she said, we was on the excursion, and the kids we was riding the dune buggies, and the kids was running next to the dune buggies like asking for dollars,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, nah, I ain't. I give dollars for services. I'm not about to feed you, kid. But we didn't have cash on us. We had to, because at the end of the excursion you had like you went into like a pool, so you didn't really have anything on you. But like watching them like literally slaughter a cow on the side of the road because that's what
Yeah.
they're going to use to feed their family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like it was. So like you said, on one level you like, you know what I'm saying, like look at the actual poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we experience poverty in the United States, but this is still the richest country in the world.
Right.
When you go other places and you see what they have to endure,
Yeah.
um, like one of the things I always do is when I get into a country, I look up what their median wages, like what's the actual wages for the area, and it's like shocking sometimes when you see like $500 a month is their wage, US
Yeah.
dollars,
Yeah.
and you like $500 a month. If I made 500, if I went to my job and they told me, yeah, you gotta make $500 a month, that would be the last time they saw me ever.
Yeah.
Um, but for them, it's like $500 a month. They like, yeah, like we normally take about $300 in between like ones and fives and maybe tens when we go outside the country. And that's because your tip means so much more to them. Like you give them $1 and they're like, oh my God, thank you. You give
Right.
somebody in the United States $1, they be like, fuck is
Right.
this? Like,
That was another thing that was fucking me. I'm like, yo, they grateful as hell. Like even
mm-hmm.
at dinner and stuff, I'm giving them $5, $6, and they like, thank you so much. And I'm like, this was making me
Yes.
feel. I'm like, thank God I ain't bring no more money because I would have been giving them 20s. I would have been giving them 20s. I'm telling you, I felt so bad. And then the other thing is like going like in the towns and the markets and stuff, and it's like some of them people, like even like the leather bags and stuff, like they make really nice stuff, or even like the handmade jewelry. Like the
Mm-hmm.
one lady, my sister bought a whole bunch of jewelry from her, and it's just like some of them just simply lacking resources. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, because the one woman we were talking to her and she like, I don't have an education. She's like, I don't know how to like read and write. And my sister like, do you know what an Etsy account is? My sister like trying to translate. Like, you need to download this. And she was like, I don't have no education. Like, you know, she really didn't understand what we was trying to say. And my sister like, take a picture of this. And she like, you need to go on here and put your jewelry on here and you need to sell it, you know? But it's like just like simple resources. I don't know, but I feel bad. I don't know. I feel bad,
So
but
I,
I
I
still
definitely
want to
get where you're coming
see the
from.
world.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I said I get where you're coming from, but yeah, definitely see the world. I wouldn't recommend going to DR though, because everything that you felt in Mexico, you're gonna feel it tenfold in DR. It's like,
Mm.
um, but definitely like Fiji. That's like one of the places I want to go. Like I got my heart set on Fiji. I don't know when it's gonna happen or how it's gonna happen. I
Yeah.
definitely want to go to Fiji. Brazil is nice. Haven't been there yet, but I've heard. Um, and you don't have that level of poverty around you when you
Mm-hmm.
go to like places like Fiji and Brazil. Like they treat it like everything is upper class because that's all they're used to.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure if you go to different parts of Fiji, you might see that, but like on the resort or just outside the resort, you probably won't see that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's I'm not an empath, so I didn't feel it the way you did, but I can understand why you did because you connect with people.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
that's your everyday routine is to connect with people. So
You would have thought that wasn't even my birthday trip because I was pissed. I was fucking mad. I'm like, no, this ain't fucking right. And then I'm like, the girl fucking lying. She been here for 16 hours. I'm sitting there like, I'm mad as hell. I'm so mad. I was so upset. And it humbled me, of course. Like it humbled me. And I'm like, dang, like, I feel like we even in the midst of us like having our hard times, because all of us have our hard times, we have our ups and downs here, but it also makes you want to be a little bit more grateful too, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And the fact that like our driver, my sister actually met him when she went there in May for her birthday, so the whole time she got plugged in with him. So when we came this time, like, you know, he was our driver from the to and from the airport. And so now it's like, you know, we kind of locked in now. And we was like talking to him. He telling us everything about him. And he like 65. And I'm like, so have you ever came to America? And he was like, never. And I'm like, why? He was like, I can't afford it. He's like, I never could. And I was like, for real? And
Wow.
he was like, and I'm like, damn, for this man to be 65 years old, he a driver. He drive people in these nice ass fucking trucks, you know, to and from the airport to these luxury
Hmm.
resorts. And he can't even afford to go out of his own country and he's 65 years old.
Right.
It's like, yeah, like I don't know, but shit, I was
Like,
like, man, don't nobody ever need to give me some real money because I see the thing is I wouldn't just be giving people money, but if I feel like if I ever hit like the lottery or something, like I like especially people that I see like have like hustling them, like they low key entrepreneurs or they're like they have they own little hustles and stuff. Like I would be investing into those people. Like I would invest into those people. I don't know because I think that just be the issue. I feel like people be like lacking resources, but
they do. They have. So first of all, they have the drive because, like, anybody who know Mexicans know they get out there
yeah,
and they hustle. You know what I'm saying? Whether they selling fruit or they driving you around, you know what I'm saying? Like they're all about their hustle. But if you don't have a starting point, and we complain about that here, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I started from the bottom. No, we really don't start from the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
We still a couple of steps ahead of other countries. You know what I'm saying? Like we able to go to school for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We can at least go through high school for free. And most of us, no, not most of us, but some of us don't really even appreciate that. We take it for granted.
yeah,
So yeah, I can imagine what you experience. Yeah,
yeah.
empathic ways.
Lord. It's so hard because it's like I don't want to consume everything, and that's another thing. Like I don't want things to consume me to the point where I don't enjoy it, you know. And I
Yeah.
don't want to say I didn't enjoy it. I did, but I think that part that bothered me. Like it really did. Like it really
Mhm.
it hurt me to see people like that. Like and it made me feel guilty because it's like how dare you sit here and
Enjoy
like
yourself.
I don't know, like I don't know, but I don't know, that really bothered me. I didn't like it. But I do still want to, of course I still want to take vacation, but I'm like I don't know, like I don't my dad's trying to take me to Jamaica whenever I want to go. He like whenever you ready, like I want to take you to Jamaica, but part of me want to do something in the US, like I don't know. I just like I'm too scared to see something like that again. I don't know.
Jamaica's pretty much about the same as
Yeah,
Mexico.
that's what my dad
Um,
told me too. But I'm like, if it's me planning the trip, I don't know. I think I wanna experience like Hawaii or something.
but the crazy thing is, we look at them like, no, saying, "Oh my God, like you got to work so hard, like for $50 today." But if you look at them, they're still enjoying their lives.
Yeah, they
You know what I'm
are.
saying? Like they're not walking around like, "Oh my God, I hate my life, I hate my country." They're like, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? They still partying and having a good time and enjoying their lives. Because they don't have the money to enjoy, they find the enjoyment in the things that they do have.
they do. Yeah,
So we can learn some things from them in that aspect.
that like.
You know what I'm
That,
saying?
sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
our driver. He was basically saying like all my kids are married now. He was like, I have grandbabies. He was like, all of my kids and my grandbabies come over every single Sunday. We have dinner together. He's like, they all live very, very close to me. And I'm like, dang, like that's really beautiful. Like, so it's like you're right. Like, even if they do, if it seemed like they do have less, it's like people still make it work for what they have. Like, they still
Mm-hmm.
find enjoyment regardless of what they have and what they don't or what they can't experience. Um but yeah, I like to your topic, I feel like people should prioritize enjoying your life. Not
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying be irresponsible with your life, but find balance in being responsible, accomplishing your goals, but also like actually living.
Yeah.
And I feel like that the whole trip made me want to just live more and not even just like just travel wise, but I'm like, I want to experience everything that I want to experience, like
Yeah.
at whatever it is. And I'm like, I'm at a point where like I want to look up stuff. Like I'm looking up like what class can I do? What can I like? I just want to experience more stuff. Um. So yeah.
It's a lot out there to experience, and we just gotta sometimes just take the chance and go out and do it.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and we'll find that there's a lot of things in the U.S. that we've never seen.
Yeah.
Um, there's places in the U.S. that are beautiful, and we never think about going like out west, like Montana and all that. That's just open land with rock formations and stuff. Like it's a beautiful place,
Yeah.
but we don't ever think. We be like, okay, I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to Miami, I'm going to go to L.A. Um, I'm going to New Orleans. Like we look at all of the what everybody normally goes
The
to,
tourist
but
attractions.
yeah, but there's
Yeah.
so many other places. Like I went to go see the when I had to go to Phoenix, um, and I went to the Grand Canyon, and it was the
Hmm.
most beautiful sight I ever. It was the Grand Canyon at sunset. Oh my god, yo,
Oh, see, now
that's
you make me want to put that on my bucket list.
that is breathtaking. It is
Yeah.
to look at something that was formed by nature. This big canyon formed by nature, and you watching the sun set into it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so just this is a lot of things. And yes, I still say get outside the country to see how other people live. I want to go to Europe.
You do?
Um, oh yeah, this girl that I work with tells me all the time. Like she's from Nigeria, but she moved to Europe first, and then she moved here. And she's like, "Yo, it's beautiful."
Hmm.
She's like, "There's so much you can do. Like if you sat down in England, you can literally visit 5 other countries
Hmm.
from England on the train."
Right.
I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "You got to go for like a week and a half, so you can just hit all the other countries." And I'm like, "Yo, that's crazy."
Yeah.
Like for us, we feel like, okay, I gotta fly. We live in the United States. Okay, if I want to go to Canada, I could drive into Canada, but I just can't hop on a train and be in Canada in 3 hours or 4 hours. I can't just go down to Mexico on a train, not the part that I want to go to.
Right.
But she's like, no, when you get into England and you hit that bullet train, and that should have you 3 hours, you in another country. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to do that. I want to experience like a lot of places in different cultures.
Yeah.
Um, because either I'm going to appreciate where I'm from,
Hmm.
watching someone else's culture, um, or I'm gonna go and see somebody really enjoying their culture, and I get to enjoy it with them. So
Right.
one way or the other, it's just gonna be a plus situation for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, everybody needs to travel. So if you watch the show,
I'm
if you
trying to
haven't
travel. I'm
planned yet,
trying to go somewhere else ASAP. I need to get the
telling
fuck
you,
away. I promise you, I was like, I don't want to live in Maryland no more. I'm done.
there's so much to
I
do,
don't
so
know.
many places to
I don't
go.
know why. I'm like, I want to go somewhere else like immediately. Like
Yeah,
immediately.
it's that bug, that bug will get you.
Yeah.
But what you got for us today? What's your first one?
So the first one is like how do you feel like conflict resolution should go? Like, for example, say like you and your friend, maybe y'all had like a falling out or something, right?
Hmm.
Maybe your friend did something to you. How do you feel like the resolution to that, like, like depending on what it is? Because I feel like sometimes people do things and it's like that's unforgivable, right?
Yeah.
But what if it's something that maybe you never expressed, like, oh, I don't like when my friends treat me this way or don't check up on me or whatever it is, um and maybe like you know what I'm saying, like maybe you had a conversation with them about it, right? And then like maybe they do it again. Like how do you feel like expressing to your friends like something that bothers you, and then say they do it again? Do you just cut them off, or like how would you go about like resolving that? Like, how do you feel
So
like? I'm sorry because I'm talking a
no,
lot,
you can.
but like I'm trying to think of like how I'm supposed to be saying it. But like, how in what order do you feel like resolution? And I want to say just friendships, because I feel like it could be relationships. It could be any type of relationship, really. I feel like
Hmm.
romantic, family, relationships, and like friendships. Like, how do you resolve issues when there is an issue? How do you feel like it should go?
So the first thing that you want to do um, is take a moment by yourself reflect on what part you played in that conflict.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, what we do is we point the finger at the other person and miss the part that we played in it. So that's like the biggest thing. Because once you take yourself out of the equation, now you can focus on understanding the conflict from the other person's point of view. Um, but if you're constantly sitting there going, I can't believe they did XYZ to me, you're missing the part you played in it. So that's the
Who?
first thing. Just trying to figure out, the all parties involved in exactly what took place.
Okay, but you're not done, right?
Mm, mm, Go
Okay,
ahead.
so what if your friend really did do something to you, right?
Hmm.
In what order do you feel like? What do you feel like they need to do to get back in your good graces?
So one thing you can't control what other people do. You can't control how they got into the conflict with you, and you really can't control how they come out of it. Um, I'm not saying chase anybody down for an apology, because when you chase somebody down for an apology, you're probably never going to get it. You're just going to frustrate yourself. What I would say is leave yourself open, so if they do come to you to apologize, you're able to sit down, have a conversation, and accept their apology. Um, but if you're just sitting around waiting for someone to say, "Yo, I'm sorry, I did what I did," you're wasting your time.
You think
Continue
so?
with your life. Oh yeah, continue with your
But
life.
I,
But
but okay, Don, I'm saying in a scenario, this
mm-hmm,
we gonna say it's your best friend.
mm-hmm,
Your best friend did something, and it's like it's obvious. It's not a secret. Your best friend know that he or she was wrong, or maybe they don't know, but they know that you have an issue with whatever they did, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, so you're basically saying don't ever have an expectation for your friends or your family or your romantic partner when they do wrong things to you. Because, like, I'm saying this because, like, okay, for example, like, if it's like my family or my friends or something, like, I feel like I have boundaries for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things that I'm not okay with, you know. And so if I tell people, like, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that, or whatever the case may be, that's me like setting the boundary, you know. And then if someone like oversteps that or whatever the case may be, it just like blatantly and just ignores how I feel when it comes to that, at that point, like now it's an issue, you know. So I look at it like when there is an issue, right? When I've like told someone I have an issue with something, like, and I don't know how to explain, because for real, I feel like the reason why I'm talking about this is because of like one of my female friendships. Um, but like I'm saying, so you're basically saying you don't feel like as a person you should ever hold your friends or your family or even your romantic partner to a standard to where it's like when you do something to me, I basically can't expect you to try to make up for what you did, or um just like just like you might not apologize to me ever, or you might not even admit to it. Do you get what I'm
So
saying?
in order for you to start the resolution with them, and they did you wrong, they gotta come and apologize.
Right.
Absolutely. And you gotta hold them to that standard. I'm not gonna call you. I'm not gonna reach out to you. If I see you in the street, I'm not gonna be running up to you because I want you to apologize. If you don't apologize, that means you meant to do what you did.
Hmm.
You standing on that,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna let you stand on that over there.
So I'm gonna flip it this way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You hurt your wife, or you hurt your
Mm-hmm.
best friend, right? Oh, your wife and your best friend might be the same person, but say it's a different friend. How would you, and you know you did them wrong, how would you go about like trying to resolve the issue? Like if this is a friend that you care about, like how would you go about resolving you hurting your friend?
I would truly humble the shit out of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'd go to them on a true humble, like, and explain what I did, what caused my actions, and if it's somebody who I really care about, I'm gonna say those words. I'm sorry for what I
Mm-hmm.
did. Um, I'm not gonna play the blame game like you did this and it made me do that to you. It's more of I'm sorry for what the part that I played in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like for one, life is short. You know, you don't ever know when's the last time you're gonna have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
And no one wants that last conversation to be conflict. So if it was me, you know what I'm saying, I want to approach and say, I'm sorry. And as I've gotten older and gotten more into um understanding the importance of people in my life,
Mm-hmm.
I've reached back to people who probably forgot about we ever having a conflict. We just stopped talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize. I'm like, yo, I did something to you. Um, and at that moment it hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I might have said this on the show before. I had a friend who was trying to get his life together. Like he was trying to get right with God. He had stopped drinking, and I was being an asshole. Just call it what it was. Like I was literally making fun of what he was trying to accomplish. So we was at the bar, and we're sitting there, and I told the bartender, I said, "Yo, let me give me a rum and coke, and give him a rum and coke, but hold the rum because he ain't drinking."
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it was I was laughing, I was joking, but to him, it was like you're making light of something that's hard for me anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and it was like maybe 7 or 8 years. No, at this point, it's about 10 years ago. I reached out to him and I was like, "Yo, I didn't realize how hard it was to do what you were doing
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't in your shoes. And when I tried to do it, I realized it was so hard that I have to apologize for not supporting you more in
Mm-hmm.
what you were doing."
Yeah.
Um, like I told I had to tell him honestly. I took it as a joke because I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
But and he actually sat and he listened and he started crying. He was like, "You don't know how hard that was at that time." He's like, "But I can only imagine how hard it is for you to apologize for something that happened years ago." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, to you it was years ago, but to me that shit echoes in my head every time I try to get my life right."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've had to humble myself and say I'm sorry. I've had people who had to humble themselves to me and apologize. Um, when I humble myself and I apologize, hopefully they're receptive to my apology. Because not all people are. Some people just
Mm-hmm.
cut you off in their mind, and that's it. They don't want to
Yeah.
hear anything from you, an apology or otherwise. Um, and sometimes people do things to you that's kind of where it lays. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
it's like what you did to me was so fucking horrific that yeah, I don't care if you apologize up until the last day you take your last breath.
Yeah.
It's never gonna land on me right, and I
Yeah.
don't care. Um, but it just depends on how big something is, I guess.
Yeah. See, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like with conflict resolution, I feel like now it might be like more ways than the ways that I'm about to describe. Um, but I realize like when there's an issue when I have with anybody, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's one of my sisters, my mom, my friends, my homegirls, whoever. I feel like I'm going to, if they didn't know what the issue was, right? I'm going to voice what the issue was. Like I'm a
Mm-hmm.
let it be known, right? And so basically after I let it be known like what the issue was, what the behavior was that I didn't like, I'm going to basically like, if it's like a friendship, like, like I've had a conversation with my friends, like, when it comes to my friendships, I don't ask for much. We're all human. We all have our own lives, like, stuff like that. But I require someone to treat me a certain type of way. And I'm not saying like, oh, put me on this pedestal. I'm not not that's not what I'm talking about. Just as a decent human being, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I in place that boundary, like, you know, this is all I pretty much require from my friends, and then my friends basically like either do it again or disrespect me or whatever it was that hurt me, you know, now I'm looking at it like, okay, I told you, you say you understood, you'll never do it again, but then you did it again. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I really started like reflecting, and I believe that there are some people that like when people have issues with them, or have an issue with something they did, like say someone hurt you or whatever the case may be, there are some people that will simply be like, oh, Dawn's mad. And Dawn, you could probably even like voice what made you upset. But it's some people
Mm-hmm.
that just be like, oh, I'm sorry. But they're not really comprehending what they're supposed to be sorry for. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And so like that was kind of like an issue that I had with a female friend. And it was like, you know, I expressed what bothered me in the past. She like, I understand. I really apologize, Bridget, whatever the case may be. And then a little bit after that, she does it all over again. Like we just had a
Mm-hmm.
whole conversation. Like, you know, um, and so the second time I feel like I voiced what I don't like, you know, what I
Mm-hmm.
will not tolerate from a friend. And you said you understood it, you apologize, and then you do it again.
Yeah.
So when you do it again, now it's almost like, is it just that you don't that you don't care? Like you don't care? Or did you really not comprehend what I said? Were you just like, okay, whatever, you know? Because I feel like some people are non-confrontational,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm kind of non-confrontational, but at the same time, I will tell people exactly how I feel. Like, you know, and I think because some people don't like confrontation, whenever they do have to have a serious conversation with someone, they're just like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, whatever you say. All right, we're good now. We're good.
Yeah.
Like, we back cool now. Like, we friends again. You know, but it's like you didn't really take the time to understand what what I was upset about so that this isn't a reoccurring issue. And so I realized that, like, you know, it's, you know, and there might be more than one way, like I explained, but I'm the type of person, this is how I am. Whether it's like people mistreat me, and it's almost like I'm expecting this, but maybe I'm not supposed to expect this. I don't know, but this is how I am. If somebody feels like I did them wrong as a friend, the first
Mm-hmm.
thing I'm going to do is figure out what I did wrong. I'm really going to sit there, like you said, and put myself in that person's shoes and try to identify like what the problem was. And
Yeah.
then I'm going to acknowledge it, right? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge. I'm like, okay, I see why she was upset because I said this or whatever the case may be. And then followed by that, I know now I have to change that behavior if I want this person to be my friend in my life. And then you
Mm-hmm.
move forward. Because I personally look at it like with anything, right? I feel like because I feel like so basically what I'm saying is I feel like the other type of people will feel like, well, I said sorry, that's enough. Well, you said
Mm-mm.
sorry the last time, but you did it again. So
Right.
sorry is not enough. Like when are you gonna comprehend what you did wrong? But there also has to be a changed behavior in order to not keep having the same issue, you
Yeah.
know? So I realized like I feel like some people, you know, and this friend that I'm talking about, and it's not me like, you know, bashing, but I'm just realizing this is a real, I guess, conflict resolution problem. Some people look at like, you know, because the friend, she even went as far as like sending me gifts, and she's like, I apologize. But it's like in certain texts and stuff, it was almost like it's almost like she wasn't comprehending like what I was mad
Mm-hmm.
about, you know. And I'm not a person, and I guess that's a way that some people apologize. Oh, like I said sorry. Oh, I gave you a gift. Like, no, sorry to me. If you really want to consider me, change the behavior.
Yeah.
Like, change the
Yeah.
behavior. Because if you tell me, like, Dawn, if I did something to you that hurt you, right? And you said, Bridget, this really hurt me. I'm going to try the best of my ability to never do that ever again. Because I value
Mm-hmm.
you so much as a friend that I don't want to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really going to I'm going to figure out like, oh, it was because I said that little phrase, and You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really gonna, and I'm gonna apologize, and I'm gonna make sure, like, I don't ever say what I said to upset you, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like oh, just apologizing, like, oh, well, I said I'm sorry without the acknowledgement, without the changed behavior. I feel like that is like sweeping stuff under the rug. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you got some people like, oh, we was beefing for a little bit, we wasn't cool for a little bit. All right, I apologize. Like, let's move on now. But if
Hmm.
you don't comprehend, if you don't change the behavior, it's only a matter of time before you do it again, and
Yeah.
now we not talking again. You know what I'm saying?
So there's some people who, first of all, I hate that empty apology, that blanket apology. Oh, whatever I did wrong, I'm sorry. Well, no, because you really don't know what you did wrong, so you're gonna be more prone to do it again.
Right.
So empty apologies. Fuck that. Can't take it. They can take that empty apology, put that shit in their ass, and leave with it. But then it's the person who they apologize for what they did, but because it's who they are, you're trying to teach them to be somebody other than who they are.
True.
There are people who I've been around who have done things to that has irritated my every piece of soul. And yes, I let them know, yo, that was some foul shit you did. You need to chill with that. And they're like, yo, all right, my bad. My bad. I ain't mean to offend you or whatever. And then they turn around and do it again. Now I just gotta trust you to be who you are. And we could be cool, but I'm gonna be cool from afar. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta be
Yeah.
cool from a distance. Because now I just have to trust that you're going to be the person you are. No matter what I say, no matter how it offends me, no matter how it bothers me, you're just going to continue to be who you are. And that's cool. I can't change you, nor do I want to. But what
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do is change my circle a little bit. Um, yeah, we still cool. If I see you in the street, I'm gonna say what's up. But we're not gonna have that same level of closeness because the type of person you are and the type of person I am is never going to mesh right.
Yeah.
And eventually it's going to get worse. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
gonna do it a third time, and now I want to pop you upside your damn head because
You
you know what I'm
playing in
saying?
my
Like,
face.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like I told you this shit bothers me, but yet and still, you still want to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be who you are, but be over there.
I see. So, like, I get that because it's almost like because honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like times in the past where I would like come to a friend, and I feel like these. I'm not gonna say it just happened in a friend because I feel like it's happened within like my some of my family relationships too. But family. I feel like sometimes we make more of an excuse to, all right, whatever. We got to be around them, whatever. But I feel like friendships is like I look at it, and not to say I don't cherish the friendships and stuff, but I feel like if you're just okay with disrespecting me or not considering me,
Mm-hmm.
which I understand, like people are their own people. I can't sit here and like be like, oh, I do this for my friends and I'm this way for my friends and expect exactly who I am from my friends. Like, no, they're completely different human beings for a reason, you know. But I think it's like certain things that I feel like in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, your family relationships, or a romantic relationship, you have certain like standards of what you will and will not accept, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so like I said, I don't feel like I'm a needy friend. Like I don't ask my friends for nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if I be like, oh, this hurt me, or you were being inconsiderate, or you weren't considering my feelings, or whatever the case may be, and I'm expressing that, especially because I'm not the friend that like is asking you for anything. I just want you to show up for who you are. But if I feel like you're like disrespecting me or you're not considering me, and I express that to you, like, so you're telling me someone who never asked you for nothing, they can't ask you for even this? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so, like, even when you was like, I have to move away from you, and I think that's why it bothers me because I'm a Cancer, and I hate to even like throw that in there, but I feel like as a Cancer, I'm not halfway in, halfway out type of person.
Right.
So I feel like it bothers me when I feel like I said, we're all adults. I'm not about to. I understand we all work. We all got our own issues. Like sometimes we just need time to ourselves. I completely understand that, but I feel like if I can't ask you for something that will be considered like the bare minimum, right, in a
Mm-hmm.
friendship, then part of me feel like I have to let it go, because I'm not 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of person. It's either like you solid when it comes to just the basic things I need as a friend, or you're not someone I could consider a friend, especially because I feel like a friendship, a relationship, whatever, like Dawn, like in your marriage, if you went to your wife and you're like, this makes me upset, and she literally like, well, I don't care if it makes you upset.
Yeah,
Like,
see, that's not gonna work as a marriage. And if it won't
you
work as
get
a
what I'm
marriage,
saying? So
it
I feel
definitely won't
like
work as a friendship. You know what I'm
exactly. So I feel like
saying?
your relationship, your family relationships, your friendships, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's like as a friend, I'm not asking you for too much, but when I finally voice that something bothers me, when I don't ask you for nothing, and you like, well, I don't fucking care. Sorry, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
not really like hearing me out. I feel like at that point, why do I need to maintain a friendship with someone who can't doesn't care about like something that's very basic. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I look at it like in a relationship, friendship, whatever. If you wouldn't, if someone would be inconsiderate when it comes to you and how you feel and something hurting you, I feel like at that
Mm-hmm.
point I don't need you around me. You know what I'm saying? Um,
So I look at it like this. I'm sorry if I cut you off.
no, you not got me off.
Um, so I look at it like this. So if you see a dog, right, in the street, the dog got teeth, the dog is gonna bite you. So you're gonna trust that that dog is going to be a dog. Even if it's the nicest dog on the planet, that dog still has the ability to be the dog that it is and bite you. If you see a snake slithering down the damn street, you're gonna stay away from it because you're expecting that snake to be a snake. There are friends that you just have to expect to be who they are. And the same way you would do with that dog or that snake, you just gotta stay the hell away from them. You just gotta
See,
walk the hell away.
so I get what you're saying, but you like they're friends. Then that is not a friend.
It's not. And some people get demoted from friends to associates real quick.
Yeah, because I look at it like, to me, I'm like a friendship or someone period that claim that they love me, right? Whether it's a
Mhm.
friendship or even if it's a romantic relationship. If you be like, hey, this bothers me, this hurt me, and someone just like, they're not blatantly saying they don't care, but their actions are showing that they don't care. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, at that point, I don't feel like that would be a romantic partner. I don't feel like that would be a friendship, because to me, someone who actually quote unquote loves you would not sit there when you express that this hurt me, just blatantly do it again like you ain't tell them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, and to be honest, like, I think everyone has their own, I think everyone has their own I guess I would consider like coping skills and reasons why they do what they do. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I really feel like when people just be like, "Oh, I apologize though. I apologize." Like, to me that is so like it's so like low effort, fake ass
Superficial.
apology.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
let's just
superficial.
brush this
Yeah.
under the rug and like go back to where we were. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like you said, like I feel like it's just a matter of time till you do it again, and then it's like this time it's like, so you playing with me, like you playing
Yeah.
with me, like
Yeah. Like I'm a joke, right? I'm a joke.
yeah. I don't know, and it's sad because I feel like it's been times in my life where I've had to cut friends off, and I've told them what the issue was, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like, you know what I'm saying. They claim that they understand why I was upset, but then it's like they continuously do it. So, like you said, I'm like, "Oh, this is just who they are." But then it's like
Yeah.
when I fall back, they're acting like I didn't do, like, what did I do? Like,
Yeah, they gotta play the victim now. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
now
I'm
they got to be
feeling
the
like, oh, you
victim.
gaslighting me. Like, stop playing
Yeah.
with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know, but I feel like with any relationship, friendship, family, like I feel like the at the bare minimum, you can consider someone, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like if you supposed to be my friend and I voice something bothers me, then consider that. Like, you know, but I don't know. I personally just don't feel like if you don't identify what the issue is, if you don't be like, okay, I see why that made you upset, and then you don't change the behavior, then I don't feel like you are actually considering someone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And for somebody else, that they may be the best of friends to them because they're both probably the same damn way. But for someone who is genuine and they coming to them going, look, you know what I'm saying, what you said or what you did, like that offended me. And so they can do one or two things. They can try to do that whole, well, I said I'm sorry,
Yeah.
because they was raised that sorry, that word sorry fixes everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It's the heart behind the sorry
Yeah.
that can fix things. It's
Yeah.
not just saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But there are some people who just was raised that if you apologize, all is well, everything's fixed. But it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Yeah.
not. And especially because women are, and I don't mean to say this in a derogatory way, so I always don't come across that way. Women are more emotional. So if you
Yes.
do something to hurt them, and you're supposed to be my rider, like you're supposed to be the person who I can come do it and tell you anything that's going on in my life. But if I
Mm-hmm.
can't tell you how bad you hurt me and you take that into account, how can we move forward? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How do we not stop right here and say, you know
And,
what, we got to end this?
and part of me feel like that's also like a person who's lacking to really understand me too. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, cause it's like, okay, like I'm like if I have a friendship with someone, like I'm trying to learn you. Like, you know, I want to learn like what make you happy, what make you sad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately we all supposed to maintain these friendships or whatever the case may be. Um and this is no shade to the girl, whatever, but I'm like, I just needed to talk about it because I feel like even us trying to talk about the issue, she's just like, well, I said I'm sorry, but you're like, she wasn't comprehending. And then also I think like I didn't realize this. Well, I mean, I guess I should have realized this, but I don't think, but it was also like the gifts too. Like, oh, I sent you this and I sent you this. And it's like I look at things like that is like you can't buy my friendship. You can't buy my love.
Right. Right. You
Nobody can
can't
buy
buy
my
my
love.
emotions.
Yeah, nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not a friend, not a man. Nobody can buy my love. It's no piece of paper that is gonna be like, oh, you disrespected me. Thanks for that. No. The only if you love me, you gotta change what you did.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make it up. I don't care how much money, how much a gift. None of that matters to me. If you don't consider me and my feelings, you know. Um, but
Like
yeah, I
some
don't.
people, go ahead,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Like some people, you really just have to put in a box and they stay there.
Yeah.
Not everybody is meant to be in your circle. Some people need to be from afar because when you finally do have that core group of people that you can rely on, that respect you, y'all can hang around each other, y'all can have great conversations. When you find that core group, you'll know it.
Yeah.
And if somebody in that group is causing discord or making it dysfunctional, cutting that person out is the best thing you can do for that core group because that
Mm,
person can become a cancer and they'll infect the entire group with their that type of behavior.
yeah.
Um, and you don't want somebody to change your actions or how
Yeah.
you treat people because they don't have the ability to treat people right.
Yeah. I think that should be hurting me because I look at it like when people aren't trying to understand me or when I voice when something upsets me and it's kind of like they not even attempting. I really look at that person like that person don't love me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like if you really love me, you'll be like, I'm sorry, I understand. I will try my best. And we're human, you know what I'm saying? But I will try my best never to do this again. Like, um, and I feel like throughout my life I've grieved some friendships where I would be like bawling my eyes out crying because it's like I love you as a person, but you don't love me and you're not really part of me feels like I don't know, because it's like you can have all these great qualities of a friend, right? Like, oh, we had and they might have could have been there for me and showed up in other ways, but I feel like if I open my mouth and express something and you don't consider me, I feel like that's not love. And so I feel like at different times in my life, I have grieved friendships because I truly love this person, right, as my friend, but it's like you don't consider me, so I feel like you don't really love me back in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
So like one of the biggest things that we do, um, is when it comes to a friend, we put them, okay, a friendship is going to be like this. And when it comes to a relationship with the opposite sex or same sex, depending on who you are, we
Mm-hmm.
go, okay, well, my relationship should be this. But it's all the same. The
Mm-hmm.
person who you consider yourself to be in a relationship with, you should be able to consider them a friend, I would
Mm-hmm.
hope.
Yeah.
Um, and a person who you consider a friend, yes, y'all are not intimate,
Yeah.
but you're still connected to them on a heartfelt level.
Yeah.
So what people will do is they'll accept things from a friend and allow a friend or a so-called friend continue to do things. But then a guy, okay, let's look at a guy, a remote romantic relationship, right?
Okay.
This guy has every quality you want in a man. Like he is awesome. He
Mm-hmm.
brings fucking flowers when he comes to see you. Like he is spot on everything, but he keeps cheating.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you can say I'm sorry for cheating, but if you're just going to go back out and cheat tomorrow, we
Right.
should end this shit now. I don't give a fuck about all the other great qualities. It's
Right.
great, but
Yeah.
this is my hard stop. I'm not going to allow this.
Right.
Same thing with friends.
Yeah.
You can have all of the greatest qualities. We could sit down, eat ice cream, and just
Yeah.
talk about everything that's bothering us.
Yeah.
But if you got all those qualities, but if you can't listen to my hard stop, the things that are going to affect me emotionally,
Yeah.
then the same with that guy, I got to cut you off.
Yeah.
It's just got to be that way.
Like, yeah, so I feel like what you're saying is like deal breakers for friends, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel I like and I feel like anytime that I've ever had, because I'm thinking like it was this one girl, my old best friend. I'm trying to think. Was it some? I feel like it was some. I don't know why I feel like it was someone else. Because I don't think I never. These people that I'm talking about, I literally done cried because I'm like, bitch, I gotta let y'all go. Cause y'all
Mm-hmm.
bitches really don't fuck with me. And that shit hurt me. But I feel like I do have somewhat of like deal breakers for friends. Like, and I don't know, like, I don't know, but it just be hard because I be like, dang, like I really did love you as a person. But I feel like, but I also feel like this is something I'm also recognizing. I also think sometimes the things that I express be be because of it be because I don't know if I'm saying this right. I'm on all over the place, but it's really because I think I'm being triggered from my trauma. like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a trigger from my like abandonment issues as a kid, like the whole issue or whatever. And I think that's why like I don't ask my friends of nothing. We don't need to talk every day. I'll never want no one to put me before your relationship. Um, like I don't like I'm not I don't you don't I don't know. I don't know, like some people be acting like they gotta have like I don't really I just look at it like I would expect my friends to be like respectful, just like good integrity, things that like cause me to want to be your friend. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But outside of that, it's not like, oh, you need to make sure we talk every week. Like I don't care about that. Like you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like real friends. First of all, we're grown. Our lives get busy. We talk when we talk. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I feel like I do have like deal breakers for friends, but I feel like I feel like sometimes even when I've expressed the things that bother me, I feel like, and maybe it's because we have different, I don't know, some type of pattern. So people be like, oh, well, I said sorry, but that's not how I consider like making up from something that you did. Not to say an apology isn't something that comes with it, but it has to be changed behavior for me. Like a
Yeah,
sorry is not good enough. You sending some flowers or whatever it is, that's not good enough. Like none of that is better is good enough compared to change behavior, you know.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
You gotta show me that I'm important enough for you to change that behavior. And
yeah,
if I'm not, that's cool. Like sometimes I'm just not that important to you, but that means that we need to like sever this right here and no hard feelings. Still got
mm-hmm.
love for you, but
Yeah,
I can't let you be a part of my orbit
yeah,
if this is what you're gonna do to me and you know
yeah,
it affects me.
yeah, and I feel like sometimes, you know, like I feel like with women, right? We be sometimes we be thinking people supposed to read our minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we be thinking people, because I feel like us women we be thinking that. So it's one thing if like you never told your friend something they did bothered you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, well, how was they supposed to know if you never expressed that? So I feel like
Right.
if somebody open their mouth and express like, oh, this bothered me, and then you don't, you know, try to change the behavior, then I feel like, yeah, it's kind of like a slap in the face or whatever. But I don't know, like, but I don't know, I don't know. I think
Like whoever this person is, hopefully they change not just for the fact of oh I hurt Bridget or with what I said maybe I need to change, but more so I need to change because I'm going to affect other relationships if
that
I don't change who I am.
that's how I feel. Like, you know, and it's like, you know, like what I'm talking about. It's not. This is not to like, oh, this is about her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
feel like this has been an ongoing issue in my life. Like, not an ongoing issue, but like, it's been a few times that I've had friends that I have voiced this. And then it was like, that was like basically the cause of our falling out. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it's because I'm an empath. I don't know. Because me personally, I look at it like, number one, I'm not going to consciously do something to one of my friends to hurt them. Right.
Right.
So that's number one. Because I'm an empath, I already automatically, without anyone having to ask me to, I'm gonna put myself in your shoes. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally, when I talk to people, the whole goal in my head is to not offend you, not to hurt you. And even if it's time for me to be real with you, it's still never the intention of, it's still, Bridget, watch how you deliver this because you love this person and I just want to get this message to you. So I'm always thinking about the other person even when I have something hard to say, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if one of my friends came to me like, Bridget, this really bothers me, this really hurts me, I would really sit there and acknowledge it, like, oh, I'm sorry, like I really apologize, and I would make sure, and that's not to say I'm not perfect, but I would try every ounce of my body to make sure
Mm-hmm.
I never do that to you again. You know,
Yeah.
because you're clearly my friend and I care about you, and I would never want to purposely hurt you, you know. But I don't know, maybe it's because I'm empath. I don't know. You know, maybe some people just don't think that deep. Maybe they're just very surface level, like, sorry, but then
Some
they
people
do it
that
again. You know, I don't
self-absorbed.
know.
Yep. They're just that self-absorbed.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I be feeling like what it is, you
yeah.
know.
Some people are just they only see when someone does something to them and it hurts them. They never see when they do something and it affects someone else.
Yeah.
Um, like I like don't tell me you're sorry if you still don't understand what your intentions were. Like, did you intend to say this to me to hurt my feelings?
Right.
And you feel like a sorry is going to wipe that away? Or did you not know what you were doing? And now I just need to explain it to you. But if you turn around and do the same thing again, if I borrow your car and I crash it, and I'm like, yo, I'm sorry, and I get it fixed, but then I turn around the next week and borrow your car and crash it again, it could be an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could just be I'm a bad fucking driver and you should never let me hold your car again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
um, we but we you're taking the first step by telling someone that something bothers you, because a lot of us don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We expect, like you said, we expect people to read our minds. We expect people to go, okay, well, I should have seen his or her facial expression that it bothered me. But if you took it that step and you said, look, what you did, it affected me. That
Mm-hmm.
bothered me. Um, you went steps beyond what most people will ever do, and people need to take that into account. Anybody, be it a boyfriend or a best friend.
Yeah. I think people need to really try to comprehend when there are issues. Like, it's not to
Mm-hmm.
just be like, all right, sorry, like let's stop talking about this. I'm tired of talking about this. Like, let's move on, because that's not really solving an issue, you know?
Nope.
And I feel like people should really comprehend so that it's not an ongoing issue, you know? Um, I don't know. I don't know. I just know I feel like I this is now probably the third time in my life regarding a friendship that I've seen this. And it's like, I don't know, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe it is like people who are being self-absorbed, maybe people are, and I really believe that some people really struggle with having hard conversations. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really a non-confrontational person, but at the same time, like, I'm a very emotional person. So when like something starts fucking with my emotions, even if I don't want to, confront this to you, I have no choice. It's just gonna come out because it's just
Yeah.
like, look, this bothered me, like, and I can't help it, And then I noticed that the people that where I finally expressed how I've been feeling, you could tell how uncomfortable it makes them feel. Even
Mm-hmm.
just even sitting face to face, because it like two times where I've actually sat face to face with friends when I like, either we had a conversation before and we're like, okay, well, let's go talk like in person. And then
Yeah.
in person, it's like, it's hard to be like, all right, let's talk about what went wrong. Like, especially in friendships, because it's a little awkward, because it's not like it's a relationship, because a relationship, if it's your dude, like, motherfucker, you did this, y'all a little bit like, you hurt my feelings, like, but with a friendship, it's like, usually when you're friends with people, it's just, oh, we cool, it's all love, but what happens when it's not? And like, now
Yeah.
we gotta have a real conversation, like this a relationship, like, wait, because motherfucker, you hurt my feelings, because a
Yeah.
lot of times in friendships, it's like people become friends because of how beneficial and how fun and how nice people are. But like, is it really a friendship if you can't understand and repair when things go wrong? Because just like in a friendship, like, I mean, just like in a relationship, in a friendship, it has its ups and downs, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like in your relationship, if you and your spouse have an issue, y'all work through that. Some people will be like, all right, well, we're gonna go to couples therapy to resolve this. And I feel like if you have a friendship and it's going like south, and somebody's expressing like, this action that you keep doing keep hurting me, but you don't really have an interest in like understandings and to change that behavior, then it's like you don't really care about that relationship, aka friendship, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
um but I have noticed though in the past that people have it. I feel like it's some people that just want to like, all right, we talk now, like, let's move on. And it's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
we need to deal with this so that this don't keep happening, because
Yeah.
it's not going to be good if it keep happening, um so yeah, I don't know.
It's as with everything. If you don't have something you can build on, then it's gonna fall. Um, and if somebody keeps doing something, you're basically building a relationship or friendship on sand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you like you can't continuously do the same thing, and I continuously tell you it bothers me before I say, okay, I'm not gonna continuously put myself in a situation to be bothered.
Yeah.
If you're constantly doing the same shit, and I keep coming around you, that's called a glutton for punishment. Nah, I'm just gonna eliminate
Yeah.
it all. I'm
and and
saying,
and 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 I feel like it's a conscious choice at that point. Like,
mm-hmm.
someone like open, like, it's one thing, like we talked about, if you didn't know, but if someone open their mouth and say it, and like you're just like, okay, well, even though they said this bothered them, I don't really care, because it's like it's children that can comprehend certain things. We be like, don't ever do this again, or when we
Right.
go in here, you better not touch nothing. Like, it's some kids that can comprehend when you open your mouth and say something. So why can't a grown ass adult, like, and I feel like at that point it's just, you just don't care, and I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I don't know. I think that's what makes me check out of friendships, and it hurt because on my end, I'd be like, if I ever consider someone a friend, like, I genuinely love you, care about you, want the best for you, I want you to win it, like, and I still do, even if we stop being friends, but I also require a level of reciprocation,
Mm-hmm.
and not to say you gotta do everything that I do, but if I open my mouth and I be like, I need this from you as a friend, and you can't understand that, then it's not a friendship. That's just how
Yeah.
I look at it. But I don't know. I wanted to talk about that because part of me, I feel like people consciously know what the fuck they're doing, but then I also feel like it's some people that really, and maybe it is people who have some type of trauma, not to make an excuse of their behavior, um, but maybe it's where it could be how some people grow up, or some traumatic things that ever happened to them, where like, oh, this is the way I cope. Like, I grew up off survival, so I always just gotta think about myself, regardless of what
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is going through, but I feel like I just wanted to have that conversation just because I'm pretty sure it's other people that probably feel the way I feel, but then I think
Yeah.
it's other people on the other end that, because like me and the friend, I think she was not understanding why I'm like, she's just like, I apologize, I sent you this and I sent a note, and I'm just like, it's not about that. It's not about,
Right.
I want none of that. Like, it's about the fact that I told you this bothered me and you did it again, and it was like she
Right.
was not comprehending it, so, but I think people, I wanted to talk about it because I want people, maybe people who are on the other end, who don't understand that sometimes, like, just apologizing with no change behavior is not enough. And
Yeah.
gifts as a form of, let me make up from something I did wrong, that's not okay. It might be okay to people who really don't care about you, and just value
Right.
what you could do for them.
Mm-hmm.
They like that. But I feel like people who actually love you, they're not worried about getting gifts for you making up for what you did wrong. Like, they really want to fix the relationship, the friendship, or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, my second topic is, there's a time and a place for everything. And I
True.
feel like
True.
this can apply to so many things. I think this can apply to so many things. But I don't know. Like, I think I think it could apply to so many things, but I'll use one example. Like, I seen online recently. It was a girl. It was her wedding. She was getting married, and the photographer went to like take the group, I guess, like picture or something, or maybe like
Mm-hmm.
a video. And one of the bridesmaids just hopped in front of everybody, the bride, the groom, and all them, and just started twerking. Like,
Yeah. Not
um,
the time or the place.
so I think like that's one, right? And I feel like I don't know, we might have talked about this before, but I think that's one example of, it's a time and a place for everything. I feel like there are some people that, like in that video, for example, like that was that woman's wedding day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is another thing, like, consider people. I don't, maybe this
Yeah.
the fucking topic should be called consider. I don't know. So it's just like, yo, if it's your friend's wedding, why? And they was, I was reading the comments and stuff. They're like, do you know how much it costs for wedding photographers? And
Right.
that shit is not cheap. And it's like, you're on a time. you get me for 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like we did the wedding. Let's take the pictures for y'all makeup and everything is like, falling off, and let's get this done. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like you took something that you did not pay for, that is not your day. And even if it's for a second, because you thought it was funny, but you made it about you.
Yep. That's just what I was thinking. Made it about yourself. Yep.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like, I don't know. No, maybe you could see. I want you to talk about it a little bit, but like, explain why there's a time and place for everything, and especially like the one that I'm talking about, like it not being about you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you want to consider them like attention seekers. I really don't know what to consider that, but
Definitely attention seekers. And some people just have to have the spotlight.
yeah,
Like they just need the spotlight. And there is definitely times when you have to just blend into the crowd. You
yeah,
don't have to be at the forefront. You don't have to have the spotlight on you. Sometimes you just have to blend in. Um, there are people who think and act a certain way,
mm-hmm.
and that's how that group of people act. And then you have somebody come into that group and they feel like, okay, I'm just gonna be who I am. Sometimes you just need to conform to the group that you're in. You need to read the room and understand the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, that young lady's wedding. You know what I'm saying? You're not just paying for the photographer's time to take the picture and take the video. You're paying for his editing time also. That's something he has to edit out of all of that video.
Mm-hmm.
He has to find a way to edit it out, but still make it look seamless.
Right.
And the bride and groom has to pay for that.
Yeah.
It's not your day. When you
Yeah.
get married, you could twerk all up and down the aisle if you want to. But at my wedding, I need you to conform and have some sense about yourself.
Yeah.
Now, if that's something we had pre-planned, like we was all just gonna act a fool and just twerk, great. We talked about that. But
Yeah.
for you to just think I could steal the moment and do what I want to do, yeah, it's wrong. And it's
Yeah.
very self-centered.
Yeah. Or like I think I talked about this before, but like me and a friend, right? Me and someone she's related to, we had it was like one night we were all drinking, and me and her had this little clash, her
Mm-hmm.
one of her family members. And so it was kind of like, it was a little drunken night. This was some years ago. But anyway, me and her talked about it, me and the friend, talked about like what happened with me and her family member or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, stuff is all good. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was drinking, whatever. But she was like, the family member would like to talk to me and apologize in real time or whatever. But the first time me and the family member seen each other was actually on my friend's birthday,
Right.
So I'm like, this is not the time or place for me and her to have this conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not even like it was no issue because we already kind of determined that it's like, it's all good. But she was like, I want to apologize and talk about this and that, I want to, when I see you, whatever. And it's like when I seen her, it just so happened to be my friend's birthday. And so, in my mind going into it, like, because me, I'm mature enough, regardless if I could walk in the room at a dinner and not like the entire table, but the person who invited me there, and I'm still gonna be like, "How y'all doing?" and just show up
Right.
for whoever dinner this is. I'm mature enough to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care like who don't like me or whatever. But even though that wasn't the case, I just went into it knowing like this is my friend's birthday. Me and her family member are not about to get into deep conversation about what happened because it's my friend's birthday and it's all about her. Like we gonna make. You can't hear me.
I'm like,
You can't hear me.
it's me. It's me.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
my headphone. My headphone starting to
It
die.
died.
Switch them up.
Okay. Yeah. So I basically went into it like, this is my friend's birthday. I'm not about to talk to her family member into depth about what happened, even though it really wasn't no issue, whatever, because this is my friend's. Because the thing is, it's like, what if we did talk about it, and then whole time we didn't agree with each other, whatever, and then next thing you know,
Right.
we
We're
start
gonna cause a
arguing again
scene.
at my
Right.
friend's birthday party. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Right.
the time or the place. So it's kind of like we already kind of like determined that it really was no issue, but I'm like, no. So when I see when her family member got there, I walked it up to her. Hey, how you doing? You good? Gave her a hug, and she like, Bridget, I apologize. I'm like, you good? Like, you good? And that was that. Cause I'm like, I don't want to get into detail. I don't want us to be like, well, you said this, and we're not
Yeah.
here for that, But I think like, cause that's something else I have seen so many times in my life. I've seen people go into other people's events and like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, like I don't like that person, and it's like, and somehow like you made it about you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It actually happened at one of my niece's birthday parties when they was young. It was insane. I was just like, what? Like at a kid's birthday party? Okay. Um, so like have you ever seen stuff like that, Don?
I was at a wedding, and for some strange reason, this dude wanted to pick this day to propose to his girl at his boy's wedding. Now I didn't know the guy that was getting ready to propose, but I saw what he was getting ready to do. And I grabbed him by the shoulder and picked him up. I was like, "Oh, this is not the time, bro. This isn't your moment." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you're getting ready to steal their moment away from them.
Yeah.
I said, do that tomorrow. I said, I understand when you at weddings, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get into beef with him at
Mm-hmm.
my man's wedding, but at the same time, this what you're getting ready to do, don't do it right here. And I
Yeah.
was like, you know, this is not. I understand, like when you go to a wedding, you feel the love. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, like your emotions is, especially if you really care about somebody you with. When you go to a wedding, like you think of all the reasons why you love the person you with. And I was like, yeah, but this is not the day to propose to her. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you can't do that. And he was like, I ain't think about it like that. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. Nobody saw what happened. Me and you just having a conversation. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for you. Propose tomorrow, but today don't do that. Don't be that
Right.
person.
Right.
Um, and luckily he wasn't on some rah-rah ignorant stuff like get your damn hands off me. He was just like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I didn't realize what I was getting ready to do.
Yeah.
Um, you cannot insert yourself into any situation and think you're gonna be the star. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not your situation, it's not time for your stardom.
Yeah.
You put together a group or a getaway and let it be all about you. But not every time is it about you being the star of the situation. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just gotta blend in.
Yeah.
Um, I've had people who would I won't even call it degrade because that may be taken a little far, but they would go out their way to downgrade me
Mm-hmm.
amongst groups. And I'm like, you're really trying to be the focus of attention,
Yeah.
and you're the only one doing it. No one cares about attention right now,
Right.
especially not me. I'm not this type of person. I
Right.
am not a showboater. So I'm like, all right, well, if you want attention, whatever you got to do to get attention. But that's
Yeah.
also somebody who I start to distance myself because eventually you're going to do it on a day when I'm not really feeling that. And I'm going to
Right.
have to go upside your head. And then there's
Right.
going to be a problem. That's how the fight started. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen people who want to be the center of attention. And it's not only is it not always necessary, most of the time it's annoying as fuck. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like you annoy everybody. And whatever you were trying to accomplish, you're getting the exact opposite out of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you want to be the center of attention, and everybody's going to look at this idiot.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen too many grown people do it. If a kid does it, I get it. But I've seen too many grown people do that shit, and it's annoying as hell.
Yeah. Um, I feel like I have too. I feel like like you said, I feel like you can definitely tell when people be damn near begging for attention.
Mm-hmm.
And it like, and to me, I feel like it's one thing like if a child wants some attention, but an adult,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's just it it gives like insecure, not to say everybody don't have an insecurity, but it just like it's pathetic to me. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
literally, to me it seems like you're literally like begging for people to just pay attention to you. But also, like, I don't know, there's a time and a place for everything. Like, is there any other examples that you could think of? Like, it's a time and place. Like, what about um like talking down on your spouse in public, or correcting your spouse in public? Like, what about that? Like, do
That's
you
a
feel like,
no. Oh
yeah,
God, it's a no. From either sex, male, female, whatever else falls into that level. But when you sit there and you try to degrade or down talk the person that you're with, first of all, you just showed everybody whatever cracks was in your relationship, because that's a
yeah,
definite crack in the relationship. Um, but then also, if you don't respect the person and you lay with them, how the hell you expect other people to respect them? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you expect other people to look at them as a man or as a woman, and the person that they lay with don't even care enough to respect them?
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's a no. That's a hell no.
But I think people also, in a sense, will lose respect for that person too, because it's like if you
Mm-hmm.
would air out and disrespect your partner, then that
Yeah.
means that any moment you would do that to me too,
Hell
if
yeah.
we weren't on the best of terms. You know
Hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Um, or like, I'm trying to think of any other ideas. There's a time and a place for everything. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Can you think of any more, Don?
Like, I got groups of friends, for example, that we can have sexual conversations, open sexual conversations. Everybody just talking raunchy and nasty. But I have groups of friends who that shit don't fly. Um, and I know when I'm around them, that ain't the time for
Mm-hmm.
me to be, you know, because I talk about sex all the fucking time. Like, that's a great fucking topic of conversation for me.
Yeah.
Not around everybody, and definitely not in every situation.
Yeah.
Um, Also, and I had to check myself on this, and even though I wasn't doing it for the attention factor, I could see how other people would view me being that way. When
Mm-hmm.
I drink, I talk. I don't like dead air. I like to fill dead air with conversation. And when I drink, I do it more so than any other time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and even though no one's ever said it to me, which I wish motherfuckers would have said it to me a long time ago and just put me like, Donald, shut the fuck up. I would take that.
Mm-hmm.
But I started noticing how people would look at me like, okay, there's this nigga again. He got to be the fucking one talking. He got to be the one with getting all the attention on him. All right, Don, talk. And I was like, oh shit, I need to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So now, even when I'm drinking, I try to be more cognizant of, okay, Don, you're drinking. Nobody has to know your entire life story today. Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Yeah.
Drink. If a conversation's going on, get into it. If nothing's going on, sit back and drink.
Yeah.
Um, because some people would look at that as, okay, this motherfucker gotta be, he always have to have the light on him.
Yeah.
And even though it wasn't my intentions, it's definitely how it came across. And if I started noticing it, I know other people noticed that shit.
Yeah. I think I thought of another idea, well, another like scenario. I think it's a time and a place when it comes to what you say, in a sense, what you say in front of children, or even like arguing in front of children.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And especially like, for example, like if maybe it's like two people are together and they have a child together, you know, I feel like it's the time and a place to discuss certain things, disagreements and things that
Yeah.
doesn't involve like the child being around, or even like just openly, like, say if you're no longer with that person, maybe y'all co-parenting. I also feel like it's a time and a place, like, of not saying certain things around your child that would, in a sense, alter how they view their other parent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Because
Absolutely.
I feel like, both people are, that's child, both parents is, they're the parents of the child. And just like when people be saying in relationships, like someone will be like, oh, when I was with this guy, like what one person, what people do to one person, they don't do to everybody or something like that. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
But anyway, like some people be like, oh, I was with that man for this many years. He never do nothing for me. And then like the next person that he go be with, he buy her flowers. He married her in less than a year. And you know what I'm saying? So back to the whole co-parenting thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like your baby mother, baby father might not like you, but that's not to say that they don't intend to do right by their kid. Like,
Right.
so I feel like just because you be like, I don't like him or I don't like her, don't give you the right to talk down on them in front of your child or to your child to make your child feel the way you feel
Hmm.
about them, because they could be your child's whole world. They could
Yeah.
do your child completely good, and now based off of like y'all not liking each other, you're making your child like, look, like your mother, did this or your father did this, like, and trying to, alter how your child feel. And it says, and don't wear your mini skirt, the smallest one at church. Right. Shoot, growing up, you had to put your fingers to your size. You had to wear a slip. You had to wear pantyhose. You could not go to church without no slip. My grandmother did not play. She did not play. Or how about this? Like one time I went to church. It was actually like last. It wasn't even a year ago. I think it was like, yeah, it wasn't even a year ago. I went to church, and there was a lady who was like, as soon as we walked out of I guess the chapel or whatever, we're still in the church house. She started
Hmm.
cussing and nigga this, nigga that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ma'am, did you hear the sermon? Because this sermon had me damn near crying, and you coming out like you still pissed off at whatever happened yesterday. But I was just like, all right. And I'm not the one to judge, because of course, like, I cuss up a storm, I be slinging that N word around. But when I'm in the church though, when I'm
Yo,
in the church,
when I first started going to church, so I was Muslim. So Muslim women and Muslim men, they pray separately. The women are
mm,
in one room, the men are in another room. So
mm,
that was my experience with praising God.
yeah,
When I started going to church and I'm standing behind this chick and she got on this skin tight ass dress, I can't even focus on the sermon. I'm just focused on ass. I'm
oh
like,
shit,
God dang, yo. Oh, to the point where I was like, yo, I've got to relocate myself because I am never going to get the word of God today. Like,
yeah,
nothing. All
that's
I'm
the
getting
devil trying
is
to distract.
yes. And the devil had me in a choke hold.
Yeah,
And I'm sitting there behind her and I'm like, Don, just think about the word. Like, get your head out of her ass. Think about the word. And I was
yeah,
like, I can't do it. So I act like I had to go to the bathroom. When I came back, I just sat somewhere else in the church
yeah,
because I couldn't focus. It's not, that's not the time for it. You know what I'm saying? That's the
yeah,
club. When you go
yeah.
to the club, put on your skin tight shit, show off. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Shake your ass. When you go
right.
to church, I'm not saying you got to be a prude, but fit the occasion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Fit the occasion.
yeah. She said, time and a place for clothing. Don't wear your string bikini to Disney.
Ooh, ooh, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah, that was I'm trying to think, because I also seen a video online. There was like a girl who, and that one was like, I don't know. It was where it was a girl in the car. She was twerking, but then there was a mother walking with her daughter, and it was like she stopped
Mm.
twerking, but then she got up and started twerking. She was in the car, and then the mother was just like, I don't know, she was pointing at her, and then the girl who was in the car, I think she's some type of like YouTuber, or not YouTuber, maybe like maybe somebody big on TikTok. I don't know who the girl was, but the mother was like, "You sitting there twerking and all this, like, you know." And she like, "Oh, well, I thought you put your daughter in the car." She's like, "No, I took her out to show her what not to do." And so the streamer or whatever, she started cussing the mother out, you know. But like, do you feel like it's a time and a place to twerk?
Hell yeah. And in the car in public is probably not the time. Now, if
Yeah,
you
like,
had Freaknik or some shit, yeah, sure. Do what you got to do. But
yeah.
if you're just riding down the street, come on. The person who might see you might be
Mm-hmm.
the same person you got to sit in front of for a job interview tomorrow. Think
Right.
about it like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first impression that they have of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not the time or the place. Definitely not. Um, yeah, when 143 was talking about the Disney, so there's a mall at the I think the old Giant Stadium they turned into like a mall,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's like it has like kids rides and stuff like this. A lot of kids go there. So a homegirl of mine took her daughter up there. Her daughter was younger, and at the same time that they're having all of these kids walking around, they're having an adult event also at this same mall.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the women are walking through the mall with thong bikinis on and shit. And my homegirl was like looking at them like, what the fuck? Now, of course, her man was just like chill, like you know what I'm saying? They having an event. And she was like, yeah, but my daughter's seeing this, and that's who, even though she looks up to me, these are still women that are older than her, and she's thinking, this is how I'm supposed to behave. When I
Yeah.
get older, this is what I'm supposed to do because that's what the older girls are doing. So yeah, even though you had an event inside the mall or wherever at the arena, yeah, keep a wrap or something on you. You know what I'm saying? Like I respect women who even when they're like at the pool, from the locker room or whatever they change that to the pool, they usually put a covering over them. That
Mm-hmm.
means even though you know everybody's going to be dressed the same way, between there and the pool, you're going to run into people who are not dressed like that. So
Right.
a sexy covering is cool, um, but having both your ass cheeks out, you don't know who might see you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To some guys, they love giving that attention, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I like to see it, but I I I think it's sexier for a woman who doesn't show everything. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Leave some shit for imagination.
Right.
Um, Now, if you on the beach, you at the pool, you lounging by poolside. Oh,
Yeah.
show your ass. Be who the hell you are and be as
Yeah.
sexy as the hell you want to be. But if you're walking through the damn mall to a pool party at the damn old Giant Stadium, put a
Yeah.
covering on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. One for three Trish was I guess she's talking about the situation. She was like the mom was dead ass wrong. I feel like the mom was wrong too. Um I definitely feel like it's the time and place to do certain things, but if the girl was like, I don't know, like I don't know what be the whole point of people twerking to like put it on the camera. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what's the whole point of that. But I mean, she's an adult, whatever. But the fact that she did stop and then the mother took her back out, I feel like the mother was wrong. And then the mother, like me personally, it's like I might not agree with it, but I'm going to mind my business. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would have never, as the mother, took my child out the car. Like, look at her shaking her ass. Don't ever do that. And then start cussing the girl out because she in
And,
her car twerking and stuff.
and she might give her daughter the exact opposite impression. Because
Yeah.
now her daughter's looking at her like, Mom, you're a fucking prude. She's having fun. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to be like you, Mom. I want to be like her. I want to have fun in my damn life.
Yeah.
And you took her back out the car to go, look, this is what you shouldn't do. And the daughter's going, that's exactly what the fuck I'm be doing.
Yeah.
You wait till I get old enough. I'm gonna be twerking on the hood of that motherfucking car.
Yeah.
So yeah, once she had her daughter out of sight and in the car, if the young lady in the car was respectful enough to go, you know what, I'ma stop because this lady has her daughter with her.
Mm-hmm.
And once her and her daughter out of sight, I'm gonna go back to doing what I'm doing. I'm living my day. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
She was respectful enough to do that. The mother was totally wrong at that point.
Right. Yeah. What about, I seen this other video too. I don't know what state it was in, but it was a pride parade and there were men walking around with their penises completely out. And mind you, there are children that are at this pride parade on the side.
The
Um,
fuck?
and I don't know, it was controversial. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like it's a time and place for that because I ain't never seen. I don't like gay pride or not. And
Yeah,
what fucking
that
parade these people just walking around with their penises out? Like, you know
right.
what I'm saying? What does
There's
you being
nude
proud
beaches and
of?
shit for that. Go do that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think it's the time and the place. Well, I don't think it's no time or place to be having your penis out. But like I think like the fact that people were doing that and there were children
Yeah.
there, I feel like that was definitely not the time or the place. Um, I don't know, but yeah, I think the biggest thing that I really want to discuss is like people, which we talked about this before, is just like people who let people have their moment.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to dim people's spotlight. And it's like, and I'm not telling no one to water themselves down by no means, but I feel like, um, like everybody has their moments, like, you know what I'm saying? Especially like when it comes to like taking somebody else's like day, like someone's wedding day
Mm-hmm.
or like somebody's event, whatever it is, like baby shower, whatever. Um, I feel like, but maybe that's just some empathetic shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Cause I be thinking like, I'm gonna make everything about them, and I
Yeah.
think some people just don't know how to take a back seat sometimes. Like,
They
you know
don't.
what I'm saying?
They have to. They got to drive no matter who car it is.
Yeah.
Um. And but what they don't realize is the same thing that you're doing can happen back to you.
That
So when you're in your moment and it's your time to shine and somebody does it to you, oh, they're the first one to want to go upside their head. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, how you gonna do that? This is my time. But you did it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
those, yeah,
don't be afraid to turn somebody else's pages. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid to say, this is not my book for today. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna make sure that you look good reading your book. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
This is your book for today. I'm gonna make sure
yeah.
that you look good reading it.
I,
You
sorry.
you you can't always just be the focus. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like I look at it like I feel like even if I was to have like an event or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, oh, like I personally don't mind. Like when I'm doing something, I want everyone to be included, everyone, whatever.
mm-hmm.
Right? I don't and I definitely don't ever want no one to ever feel like they gotta water themselves down around me. Like, be your best fucking self. Like, right? But I just feel like I know how to be in the back seat when it's not about me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I've said that on here before. My one friend had a birthday. I was photographer. That's it. Like, you would have thought
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even there celebrating with the birthday because I'm like, I literally spent the entire night Yeah, I took like one shot with everybody, but outside of that, I'm like, let me get pictures with you, with your family, with your all your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, I'm like, I can be photographer. Like, even our friend Tobias
yeah,
through the party, he like he was supposed to have a hookah girl and a like a bartender, and I'm like, I'll play bartender and hookah girl. I'm
right,
not sitting there making that shit about me. Like, I literally know how to play my position when it's time. Like,
exactly.
so I feel like if it's like someone's wedding day, if it's somebody's uh baby shower, if it's a kid's birthday party, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
some people only get those moments like once in a lifetime. So, like, why would you ever dare steal that from them? You
Yeah,
know? And like you said, those be the very people that if somebody was to do that to them,
they
like
would
all
lose it.
hell will break loose.
Yep.
Which don't make no sense. So I think, I guess out this whole entire episode is like consideration, like consider people,
Yeah.
like, and that's why that one episode I wanted to talk about how people can become more empathetic. It's literally like, stop making everything about you and put yourself in someone else's shoes. Think to
Yeah.
yourself, would I appreciate if someone did this to me, or someone treated me this way, or they made it about them when it's supposed to be about me, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's the part that a lot of people who do that miss out on.
Mm-hmm.
If this was my event and somebody did it to me, how would it make me feel?
Yeah.
But they don't ask themselves that question, so they never think what I'm about to do is going to possibly ruin somebody else's day. That
Right.
should be the greatest day of their life.
Yep.
Um, like at my like I love my wife for this. Um, so when my daughter was getting married, my daughter they had a photo booth. My daughter asked her, do you mind, I know you really good with pictures. Do you mind manning a photo booth? And my wife was like, nah, today's your day. Whatever you need me to do, I'm here to help. But also, she also remained cognizant of the fact that she also has a mom that's there. So I don't want to do too much and overstep. And I
Right.
was telling her, I was like, yo, whatever needs to be done, if you step in and you help out, that's fine. And she was like, no, because I don't want to overshadow her mother, because this is her mother's day as well. You know
That.
what I'm saying? Her mother gets
Yeah.
to watch her daughter get married. I don't want to step in like I'm overstepping who I am. And I was like, I would have never thought of it like that. I'd have been like, I'm just trying to be helpful. But sometimes you can do too much, even in being helpful. You know what I'm
Yeah. And
saying?
it take nothing to like show up, but also like try to show up for someone, but also consider people too, in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, I feel like that just shows a level of emotional maturity, people who
Yeah.
are very mature, and the fact that it's like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to show up for you to show you like I'm here to support you or whatever you need, but I'm also considerate of the other people who in this moment means something to them as well,
Right.
and how they feel, even with my presence and stuff like that. To me, that's like
Mm-hmm.
very, very mature, but I don't think a lot of people. I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but I feel like it's a good amount of people that are not like that. That never consider people, And I do feel like you said, because I say it all the time. Like, people are so self-absorbed, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, and maybe that's a whole nother topic we need to. I mean, I know we talked about it before, but I feel like it's a whole nother topic that I feel like in the future we gonna have to talk about, of like people always want to take and people always want to make it about them, and it's like, why don't you spend a moment of your life just giving
Yeah.
and taking a back seat and stop making everything about you, because it's not, because I feel like people who continuously never consider people, always make things about them, one day they're gonna sit in this world alone, because a lot of people are
Mm-hmm.
not gonna tolerate that behavior, you know.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. We definitely gonna touch on the self-absorbed people, or the people who really just have to take from other people and never put any. They deplete people, but they never add anything to their account. You know what I'm saying? Like they never help them out.
That
So yeah, that's definitely something. But there's a lot of people who do that. So yeah, let's do that. But for tonight, we gotta let y'all go. I don't even know what damn time it is. But we are back. We took a week off. We needed it. Bridget needed it. But we will be back next week. Before we go tonight, I want to say this to everybody, whether I'm talking about our show or any of your friends' shows or any of your friends' posts on social media. It costs you absolutely nothing to share what they just did. It's simply a click on the screen to share it. So I always talk about our show: like, subscribe, share. We always want you to do that, but be friendly to your friends also. If they do something and you like it, how do you know how many other people might not like it? You can reshare. It's just one click. You know what I'm saying? Put your friends on the map because you want them to do the same thing for you. So don't be self-absorbed, fuckers. Show love to your friends. Like it really costs you not even a second of your time. You're already scrolling. You came across their post. Share it with people. I do. I know Bridget does. My wife does it a lot. I know a lot of people do. Ace shares the shit out of our show. So, and I appreciate him for that. If I've never said it to you, thank you, for showing us the love that you do. I do the same thing back for him. You know what I'm saying? When him and his boy be talking sports, I share the shit out of it because even though I'm not big into sports, I know a lot of people who are.
right.
So they might get a total kick out of what they talking about, even though I can't enjoy it enough. I know a lot of people who go, "Yo, who's those dudes that you shared?" Some you know what I'm saying, good friends of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just share their stuff. So share your friends' stuff. Don't be a loser. But until next week, we will see y'all.
Yeah.
That's my soapbox for the day. Next week, Bridget gets to close out the show again. That was my soapbox. But
Okay.
we'll see y'all next Wednesday. Love y'all, folks. It'll be easy.
This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. Please like, subscribe, and share.